My Canadian brethren. All right, here we go. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our T30 Sponsorship Plus Rookie debut. My name is Jeff Olson. I have been very excited for many, many years to bring this conversation to everyone. I have some of my fellow athlete and business compatriots with me tonight. I want to give a special shout out to my mentor in this whole conversation, Dr. Mitra Ray, for jumping in here real quickly early. She's at another event in San Francisco, but she's going to talk very briefly just about how food is a weapon as an athlete. But really tonight's call is really about the business of our business and how Juice Plus and the Juice Plus products can be a competitive tool for you to own your income. For the athletes on the call tonight, you're all familiar with sponsorships, but you don't own those sponsorships. Some other company owns those sponsorships. And the Sponsorship Plus idea and the name came out of a coach of Elite Athletics, Mark Schwann, who's going to be joining us here and sharing his story. So I'd like to give Mark thanks for the name of it. It's all in the plus, and the plus is Juice Plus, but the business of it. We have world champions on the call tonight. Hopefully we're going to have an Olympic gold medalist on the call tonight. She's running a little late with some technical difficulties. I'm an old has-been. I was an athlete in the 20th century. We'll get into all of that here shortly. But for those
Rebecca is trying to get in, and there's some glitch. She just said that it's not letting her in. I don't know if you can control that from your end.
Okay. Let's see here. When you dive into your comments, Mitra, I'll see if I can help Rebecca out. So really, it all starts with, any business, a product or service starts with goods and services to take out into the marketplace of ideas. I'm going to share my story and how I came to see this as a competitive advantage. But for athletes tuning in tonight, it all starts with how this can impact you, or anyone, how this can impact you, how this can make a difference for you. One of the things about Juice Plus is I saw early on a way to pull sports nutrition into the 21st century around human performance. And Dr. Mitra Ray has been a close mentor and friend and has stewarded this conversation for over 20 years. She's a former PhD in biochemistry from Stanford, and between her and her husband, I've learned a ton. And I'd like to introduce Mitra here very briefly just to talk about why bother as an athlete? Why bother with Juice Plus? Why bother with trying to cram more fruit and vegetable matter into your body, and what it can mean for you around your ability to perform? And then we're going to transition to the business of it. So with that, thank you, Mitra, live from San Francisco. It's Dr. Mitra Ray.
Thanks. I feel like one of those street reporters here, with my headset on. But anyway, hi. People are saying hello. So basically, I wanted to share that I'm a scientist and a mother and a wife, and with many athletes in the family. And I also work out myself. I've been active all my life, and I work out at a place called Engineered Sports Facility. And I saw a quote there that they had that said that poor nutrition can make a great athlete good, and proper nutrition can make a good athlete great. So this really begs the question, like, what is proper nutrition? And I wrote a column in the Vail Daily this past February that because so many people athletes don't understand what is good nutrition. Like, what does that look like? Is it more whey protein and shakes and vitamin supplements, or is it like raw eggs and lean cheese at every meal? Actually, surprisingly to some, it's about more plants in your diet, more fruits and vegetables, and a nice blend of plant-based proteins. And so Transform 30 allows the athlete to recover faster with plants fueling the body's ability to cleanse the extra burden of free radicals created during heavy training and competition. Another concern that most athletes have today, well, they don't have this concern in their conscious mind, but it is a concern for sure, is the heavy exposure to environmental pollutants in our world that's constantly challenging anybody's physiology. And the average person will test for hundreds of different environmental pollutants in their body. And this is where Transform 30 comes in. The Juice Plus products actually give the body the building blocks for stronger muscle and more mitochondrial density, but it also helps the body rid the excess fat and the toxins more efficiently, and it quenches free radicals that are generated during exercise. And the result is that athletes find themselves being able to train harder and longer. They don't get sick as often, and it gives them an unparalleled edge, basically. And a final note that I find interesting for everyone on Transform 30, and especially important for athletes, is brain function, because the products help to reduce the overall experience of stress in the body. This calms down the central nervous system. At our gym, we have this some fancy electronics to build brain function after the body's exhausted from exercise. And this gives the athletes the edge of slowing down time during competition so they can make better decisions on the field. And nutrition is paramount to that neurological function. So there's just many, it's a multifaceted conversation, nutrition, and it helps from the cellular level, from, or an organ tissue level, brain function, and of course, muscle development. But it's way beyond muscle development. It's really about recovery. And with that, I'm going to hand it back to you, Jeff. I'm going to go off to another event here, and thanks for the opportunity to chat with you.
Thank you very much, Mitra. Enjoy your night in San Francisco.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to hear from athletes and hear how Juice Plus came into their lives and how Juice Plus transitioned from a what's in it for me conversation to how can I be a part of something bigger than myself, and how can I turn it into a business. So I'll lead off, and I'll share my story. Since I'm the veteran, I've been around the longest in this conversation. The business has provided me with the time and the income and lifestyle that I had back as an athlete. As athletes, we do have a lot of time, and we're independent, and we do what we love, and I find myself in that position today. So I was introduced to Juice Plus about 14 years ago through my old teammate, Holly Flanders. So if you're an athlete, never underestimate the ability for you to share this with your compatriots. I had retired, but Holly Flanders was a World Cup downhiller in the 80s, and we were at actually a fundraiser with Dr. Richard Stedman up in Vail, and she introduced it to us. And I took one look at my wife, and I said, hey, this stuff makes sense. It made immediate sense to me. It was like, what part of this don't you get? The fruit and vegetable part, or the encapsulation part, or the juicing or the drying part? I said, for me, it was a V8 moment. I was like, duh, I get it. I saw it as a think different approach to dietary support. I later learned that it was also a competitive advantage, both from an athletic performance standpoint and a business standpoint, but that didn't come till later. So immediately, I was a consumer, I was a customer, I got it, made sense, and if it doesn't resonate with you at that level, you need to spend some time there and do your homework. The train's left the station long ago. It's the #1 product in the world. It's got a tremendous amount of bedtime reading material, as we like to say, if you want to give it to your coaches or give it to people that are smarter than you to actually do their homework, or provide your own homework and just do your homework. But suffice it to say that we got on Juice Plus shortly thereafter. My wife is a trained nutritionist, and after she did her homework, she gave it her thumbs up, and that was 14 years ago. Thank you to Holly, though, for introducing us to the business, because she had taken on this business as a retired athlete, and I, at the time, was working in the corporate world. I was working for the man, 60, 70 hours a week. I had gotten my degree after I retired from ski racing. For those of you who don't know my background, I competed in 2 Olympic Games, won 3 national titles, and a Pan Am gold medal, and I actually beat my body into the ground through overtraining and had to retire after Lillehammer in '94. So I spent about 10 years trying to find my groove, trying to find my way about what I would be beyond an athlete. And this business, little did I know, would provide me a way to take all that I learned as an athlete and apply it in an entrepreneurial mindset to create athletic income. So I got it as a product, but I certainly didn't get the business. My wife took it on as a business early on while I was being a provider as a man out in the world, working for a job. And I was working in the technology industry, I worked in the financial industry, and that probably took me on a little bit of a sojourn, if you will, away from being an entrepreneur and owning my life, because someone else owned my life, and I made a lot of money, but I didn't have any time, and I certainly didn't have any lifestyle. What got my attention, though, was when my wife started paying the mortgage with our Juice Plus check. I said, because I never thought that these little itty-bitty fruit and vegetable powders could turn into a 6-figure income. But when she started paying the mortgage, that got my attention. I became a student of the business, and I learned more. And I encourage you to become a student of the business and to learn more. In the Transform 30 program, we got a way to test drive our products, and during the course of those 30 days, we got a way for you to test drive some business concepts and principles around creating income. If you have any kind of influence in your life, if you've got a Rolodex, if you've got a cell phone, if you've got social media and friends, this business is for you. So for me at the time, I couldn't see it as a way to provide for my family, but I knew my wife was paying the mortgage, and then she started to pay a little more than the mortgage. And collapsing the last decade of my life, what I learned is a few simple things. This business is not about sales, it's about sharing. Sales actually is problematic in our business. It's more around coaching and educating and being a messenger of education and a coach around education and training people and building people up and giving them capacity. Salespeople don't do very well in our business. This is not actually one of those kind of businesses either, because 85% of our product, or excuse me, 85% of our revenue around the world comes from customers only. We certainly have a business, but it's a road less traveled, and not everyone wants to be an entrepreneur. So the main thing that I learned in this business, probably the most difficult thing for me to learn in this business, was to become humble, to become a student, and not be the message. As an athlete, and as we're working in the corporate world, I built a whole life on trying to distinguish myself from others and be better than others and perform better than others. But in this business, it's actually not about that. And that's what was really refreshing, because it's a different kind of leadership. You plug it into this river that runs through everyone that's involved in this business, and it's collegial, and it's a team, and there's an esprit de corps that everyone helps each other, and it's kind of a win-win, and you don't find that in corporate world. What I've been able to experience with my wife and my family is we now have a six-figure income, we have time, we have a lifestyle, and my really responsibility now is to invite and to educate and to introduce this opportunity to athletes, to soccer moms, to the greatest generation, to the next generation, to the millennials. It's whoever wants to take charge of their life, be independent. This is an opportunity for you. And for the athletes tuning in tonight, you have influence and you have the ability to inspire. And so why not leverage that beyond just traditional sponsorships with our Sponsorship Plus program. So with that, I'd like to introduce Mark now. Mark is an elite athlete in and of himself. He's also had been a coach at the national team level. He came up with the idea of Sponsorship Plus. He's a kindred spirit, and I'm really excited to be launching the Sponsorship Plus program with him here tonight, and stay tuned for more to come. So with that, let me introduce Mark Schwann from Canada.
Hey guys, how you doing? First of all, I'd just like to welcome all the athletes, and if there's any other coaches on the call, on the live call here, welcome to our first live video feed, and I'm very excited about what's happening. This kind of all transpired. I'll give you a short background on my story. I've been involved with Juice Plus since 2000, and I actually just became a customer of Juice Plus because you know, I was not eating enough fruits and vegetables in my diet, and I really had this need to get healthier because my body was breaking down. I am an athlete, not at the world class level, but I'm an Ironman triathlete and cyclist, avid cyclist, and of course I've skied all my life. So, you know, my body was taking a hit, and Juice Plus was just became a very good fix for me. And through the product, I got to know the business, and over the past number of years, the business has been rewarding me with, you know, meeting some amazing people like Jeff Olson and Soni, and I've got my buddy here, John Kucera, my new captain, and so as good as the product is, the business is just as good, and it's just as rewarding. I woke up a couple weeks ago with this vision in my head because I am so passionate towards sports and especially the ski industry, and I was thinking to myself, how can I you know, use what I have right now in the business and with Transform 30, and how can I affect the most amount of people? And really what came out of that was the whole Sponsorship Plus idea, whereby, you know, we help athletes to own their own income, so they don't have to go out and chase sponsorships, they don't have to go out and look for money and perform to get paid, really. So that's what they're doing. So what we're creating here is an opportunity whereby I'm the coach still, but I'm a coach in the business venue rather than the athletic venue. And what I'm doing with John is, you know, John is has become a captain of his own team. And it's my intention to coach John and to help him build his team as his captain, and then eventually John will become the coach, and he'll have captains that join him in the team as well. So first and foremost, all the athletes on the call, Transform 30 is the way to go, as Mitra said, at a cellular level, for your bodies, for your recovery, for your performance. It is the rocket fuel that's out there. Everybody, in my opinion, if you're serious about sport, you should be taking Juice Plus and trying Transform 30. If you're at all interested in building an income while you're competing, please consider the Sponsorship Plus program. We have an actual document that's going to be coming out this week where you can have a look at it. It explains exactly, you know, how to get started in the business, how to kind of get a jump start, fast track, and if you follow the simple steps that we've created for you athletes and for coaches on the call, it's a very doable and duplicatable system for everybody. So with that, I would love to introduce my captain and a guy that I love. We've known each other for over 20 years. He became the world champion in 2009 and downhill world champion, World Cup champion, and yeah, I guess I could just hand it off to John Kucera.
Hi everyone. Like Mark said, I'd just like to welcome everyone to the call. For me, you know, I'm pretty excited to be part of this whole thing. I've been, my quick story is, you know, I've been on Juice Plus for 14 years now, a really long time. What got me involved is just an old coach. You know, I was 15 years old. I didn't really know much about nutrition. I was just kind of up and coming, and Jason LaPierre just introduced, said, you know, you got to be on this stuff. You got to have your, you know, to make sure you have your fruits and vegetables and help you recover and not get sick. And I was like, yeah, okay, you're my coach, so I'll listen to you and I'll do that. And so I hopped on the product, and you know, I was kind of thinking I was going to see some, you know, drastic changes, and you know, like I was going on some sort of almost drug-like thing here, but yeah, I never did, and I was, you know, I was a slow believer, but then I started noticing things as my career progressed. You know, we'd be traveling a lot, you know, a lot of travel, a lot of training, and when I looked at my teammates and looked at myself, I seemed to, you know, not get sick as often. I seemed to have this knack to recover a lot quicker. And then I started thinking about it a little bit, and I realized, you know, the only thing that I'm really doing differently from these other guys is I'm taking Juice Plus. And so that's when I started becoming a believer. And it's like Mark said, you know, I've gone all the way to world champion in Alpine Skiing. I've won World Cups, you know, 8 or 9 national titles. I've been very, very successful. You know, unfortunately, a broken leg kind of ended my career prematurely, but this is a product I truly believe in, and I'm really excited about the whole Sponsorship Plus program, because as an athlete, I always thought that was something that was missing. There was, you know, it was hard. There wasn't really a program like this in place when I was kind of on Juice Plus and I was younger, and I'm excited about now being able to bring that to athletes and help them build businesses, and I'm excited to get really you know, jump in with both feet and grow a business for myself as well, because, you know, retiring from athletics is it's a big change in life, and it's nice to have something to fall back on and something to share with others. You know, not because you're doing something that's going to improve their performance, but you're really just improving their health, and it's a great message.
All right, thanks, John. We have batting cleanup tonight a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. She's won six Olympic medals. I am excited and proud that someone of that caliber has joined the Juice Plus team, and she is a rookie in our business. We'd like to welcome the rookie, Rebecca Soni, and we'd love to hear your story, Rebecca.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. Thanks for including me, and sorry I was a little bit late getting in. I'm just really excited to be here. I, like Jeff said, am pretty new to this whole organization as well as to Juice Plus. I've been taking it for a couple months now, and actually one of my best friends, Ariana Cookers, introduced me to it. She is also selling Juice Plus, and she really just got me on board, and she never really, you know, pushed it on me. We spent so much time together. One day I was like, you've got to tell me what's going on here. And so we sat down, we talked about it, and before I knew it, I said, there's absolutely nothing I can say. I'm just so excited. I just can't wait. And so I got on the product, and then I very quickly became a distributor and started to work my way up. So it's been an amazing journey, and I've really just enjoyed every process of it. But you know, just lately talking with Jeff and all these guys about Sponsorship Plus, that's really what gets me extremely excited, and that is because I'm recently retired from swimming. The 2012 Olympics was my last Olympics, and Jeff, I'm sorry, I have to correct you. I actually have 3 Olympic golds.
Well,
I meant to correct you earlier in the Facebook chat, but so I wrapped up an Olympic career that was really fantastic, and like some of the guys mentioned earlier, it is really challenging to walk away from your sport, whether it's a difficult ending or a storybook ending. And it's always really challenging to figure out what happens next. And trying to figure out that part of your life can be really challenging. So seeing the Sponsorship Plus opportunity it's just extremely exciting because you can work towards something while you're still training. It's not extremely time, sensitive. You can work on it as much or as little as you want, and more than anything, it's just a lot of fun to build your business, and you're in control, you're in charge. So just having this thing that you start to build, you own it when you leave. It's not a traditional sponsorship, even though I've been really lucky. I've worked with amazing sponsors during my Olympic career. When you walk away from that, you get a check, and that's it. You can't really continue that relationship, and you can, but it's really challenging and really rare. And so this gives you an opportunity to really own your own business and move forward. And you can move forward with as much or as little as you want. I'm continuing working on my own separate business venture on the side while doing Juice Plus at the same time. So it's not like once you start Juice Plus, it's all you're going to do once you're out. You put in as much time or as little time as you want. And I think that's really amazing. And so just, jumping in, I really was a little bit lost, as most athletes are after they retire, and Juice Plus really helped me find that athletic, competitive kind of whole team environment that I'd really been missing from sports. Of course, I miss competing, but I miss my teammates, I missed hanging out with my friends, I miss being in control of my own life, and Juice Plus gave me all of that, and it's really fun. I get to work with a team, not only some people that I've brought on board and watched go through amazing transformations, but I also get to work with Ariana, one of my best friends, and the girl that got me involved in all of this, and so we get to do all of this together, and it's just been so much fun with that, and it's an amazing opportunity. I can't wait to share it out, and I hope that all of you really enjoy and jump on it, because not only is it a great opportunity business-wise, but as far as the product, I hands down can't think of anything that has so drastically changed my life for the better so quickly. I started, like I said, just a few months ago, and I wish more than anything that I had been introduced to it a little bit sooner, and I hadn't been, waiting for my retirement to try it out. But I still am extremely active. I work out, sometimes 3 times a day while running 2 companies, Juice Plus and the other one on the side, and I can honestly say that I've never had so much energy, and I've never felt so good as I do now taking Juice Plus. And so it's an amazing product. It's fantastic for what it does. It's not just about the outcome that you get from it for your sport, but it's about you as a person, as a whole being. It's not just to get you to that next level. It's really just to improve you and your whole entire life. And so it's an amazing opportunity. So much fun, and just a great place for athletes to come to start learning about creating their own business, creating their own life, getting in control of their own life after sports and before and during sports too. So really, really amazing, and I'm just more than anything just so honored to be here with you guys, and I can't wait to meet everybody who's watching.
Thank you, Rebecca. So we've got about what I love about this business is hearing the fresh new faces and the stories of people who are experiencing our company for the first time, experiencing our products for the first time. We've got about 5 minutes left. I'm going to ask a couple questions, and then we'll wrap up. For those of you who want to learn more about Juice Plus and how it can help you perform, I've done a little video that may be helpful from an athletic mindset. If you just Google T30, T30 Perform, it should be the first video that comes up. It's a short webinar, but what I tried to do is put in an athletic framework, how cramming more fruit and vegetables in your body can help your body fuel for performance, build your body up, and recover. Human performance happens in recovery, and its recovery is about quality nutrition, not necessarily quantity nutrition. So that is the wedge through which we kind of enter into the sports nutrition conversation. I think human performance nutrition is a higher form of sports nutrition because it fuels for human physiological health first, fitness second, and sports-specific needs third. And one of the things as a professional that I'm really excited about with all of you and working with all of you and all the other athletes that are going to get involved with us is to help pull sports nutrition into the 21st century. It's really hopped around on two legs for the last 20 years around carbs and proteins, but there's a whole world of nutrient density around phytochemicals, phytonutrients, nutrient-dense foods, plant foods that can help recovery happen faster. And if we can help athletes recover faster, we can help you perform better, stronger, faster, and higher. And so with that, I'm going to ask Mark just to talk a little bit about the camaraderie, the community, the esprit de corps when you retire as an athlete, or if you are an athlete, part of the energy and the motivation and what fuels you is the team. We're all on the call tonight come from individual sports. I'm sure there are people tuning in that are on team sports. But talk, Mark, a little bit about because I didn't know what being an entrepreneur was when I was an athlete. I had no frame of reference. I was singularly focused on being that, but I didn't really understand that the skill sets of being an athlete are completely translatable to being an independent contractor, being an entrepreneur. So talk a little bit about how you see this program evolving for anyone who wants to join, where they land in community, in team that's going to coach them and support them and help them train and build capacity. John? Yeah, I think you got to take yourself off mute. You on mute there, Mark? Go ahead. Start talking. I'm not hearing you. I'm not hearing you. Are you there? Rebecca, give me a thumbs up if you can hear him. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Rebecca, I'm going to ask you a question while Mark and John try to figure out their audio difficulties. Rebecca, talk to me about what you know about. I mean, you're new. You're recently retired. You've got other businesses. You're trying to find your way as in your ability to build a new career based off of the skill sets from your past. Talk to me a little bit about what you've been able to experience in this community so far about helping you build capacity as an entrepreneur.
I mean, it's really exciting. I really love the teamwork aspect. I love that you get to be in control of your own, basically, financial destiny. Everything is kind of in your hands. It's in your control. Nobody is standing over you. You know, like the coach that pushes you too hard and you don't really agree with what they say. There's nobody standing over you, pushing you. Everybody that's, whether they're above you or next to you, they're all trying to get you on their shoulders and on the same level, and I think that's amazing. The competitiveness is all just so fun and friendly. It's all about helping each other out, and for me that's something that really, really made me have so much of a love for what we do here, because we get to work with our friends, we get to work with people and watch them change their lives. And you know, coming out as an athlete, I likewise didn't know what it meant to be an entrepreneur, and I'm learning it with my other business on the side, and I realized very quickly that there is not much difference between learning that business and learning this business with Juice Plus, and everything that I'm learning here is only helping me more in my other business on the side. And I started it by saying, this will help me with my startup, but at the same time, it's the one that's paying the bills. It's the one that's really helping me through and giving me the time and space as a retired athlete to really go out and search and figure out what it is I want to do, because some of us, we feel the pressure to jump right into something. We need to get on something quickly. We need to get that paycheck. When all of a sudden it stops after sports. And it's really given me the opportunity to step back and make sure that I'm making all the proper decisions, whether it's within my company. Before I founded my company, I needed the time and space to figure out what it was I wanted to do, because a lot of athletes don't know. I definitely did not. And so it really gives me the time, it gives me the space and the opportunity to really dig deeper. And, I work a lot with mental training for athletes. That's my other company, and there's so much relation between the mental training to just treating your body well, and that's where it all comes full circle. So even though they're two separate companies, they're basically all under the same little umbrella of treating your body well, getting your body functioning at its highest level, whether that's in sports, in life, in school, in absolutely whatever it is. And so the entrepreneurial side of it is really fantastic. It's challenging in the best way. It gives you that feeling of, triumph when you achieve something and you get to mark off little achievements. And most of all, like I said, the team aspect is something we're all familiar with, whether we are individual sport athletes or team sport athletes. We all love our teammates, and there's nothing like being able to work with your friends and just have a blast doing it.
Thank you, Rebecca. Mark, I'm going to ask you a little bit different question. Hopefully we've got your audio on or fixed here. One of the things that I had to learn coming into this business was coming out of an individual sport. I thought that everything that I did was going to actually translate into building massive distribution networks. And I actually came into this business as not being very what we call duplicatable. Mark, talk to me about what you're trying to create with the Sponsorship Plus program in terms of using the tried and proven system. I resisted the tried and proven system very hard until someone put it into my narrative, which was, Jeff, you got to understand this is aerodynamic. And John, you can appreciate that. This is an aerodynamic system. And when someone used that terminology, it shifted from being constrained in a box to, that speaks my language. This is aerodynamic, and I surrendered to the tried and proven system. Mark, speak a little bit about what you've learned about this tried and proven system, not trying to invent the wheel and just kind of following the Sponsorship Plus program. We may have lost Mark's audio. We're not getting any audio. Like, yell louder. Or let John talk. Yeah, that's weird. Let me see. Maybe I muted you by accident. Mute. No, I put you on mute. Now I'm going to take you off of. No. That's weird. Well, this is our first Google Hangout. This is our first Transform 30 Sponsorship Plus recording. We're going to be doing these much more. We've got other Olympians, other athletes. I want to respect everyone's time. We'll figure out the audio difficulties next. Sorry, Mark, and sorry, John, that we're looking at you, but we're not hearing you. I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. As I said, please get with the person that invited you and do your homework, both from a human performance standpoint and your ability to utilize Juice Plus for a performance advantage, and also as a way to join a team, join a community, and get skilled up, get trained up, and build capacity around owning your income. With that, I'd like to thank all of our athletes and coaches for tuning in tonight. I'd like to thank Mark, John, and Rebecca and Mitra for launching this conversation. We will see you again at our next T30 event, probably next Monday at the same time. We're going to do it again. And if you'd like to learn more, as I said, you can Google T30 Perform. There's a video on the performance end that you can look. You can also view our most recent Sponsorship Plus video if you Google T30 sponsorships. So with that, I wish you all well. We'll see you out on the field of play. Take care, everyone.